The first 5 games of Plat The Series were recorded on Steam. This was to test the concept before I had the hardware to record on PlayStation. Everything following will be recorded on PlayStation. Enjoy the show. The Kingdom Hearts series has a total of 7 playable games on modern consoles. 8 if you're nasty. With another on the way hopefully before my 1-month-old graduates college.
Hey, I doubt it!
These 7 games are all parts of various packages. The first being 1.5 and 2.5 Remix, containing Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories, Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, and Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep Final Mix, as well as 2 movie versions of DS games. The next one, cleverly titled Kingdom Hearts 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue and Knuckles, containing Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance HD, and Kingdom Hearts 0.2 A Fragmentary Passage, as well as a movie version of a mobile game. Then finally, Kingdom Hearts 3 and its Remind DLC all on its own. Then yeah, also there's technically Melody of Memory, but thank God that isn't on Steam, because it's just a rhythm game and there's some important story stuff at the end, but you can just look that up. Amongst the available games, there are a total of 317 achievements for us to hunt, with a total time allowance of 470 hours.
Damn.
197 of those achievements come from 1.5 and 2.5 Remix. First up on the docket is Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, with a total of 55 available achievements, 56 on PlayStation if you're including the Platinum. The part time for this game on its own says it's 40 to 50 hours, so we'll stick with the lower estimation given my prior game knowledge. So without further ado, let us begin our journey into one of my favorite game series of all time, Kingdom Hearts. Close your eyes and go back to 2002 with me. Xbox Live had just come out. Eminem and Nickelback dominated the music charts.
Look at this graph!
Spider-Man and Lord of the Rings ruled the box office, and all the cool kids walked around with their second-generation iPods. Yes, I said iPod, not pad, not phone. Pod.
It's been 84 years.
Many of you probably closed your eyes and just pictured darkness because you weren't alive yet. And then there was me. A 6-year-old boy who had just gotten a PS2 for Christmas. A massive upgrade from the Super Nintendo. I was already aware of what Final Fantasy was, and I was obsessed with Disney, so needless to say, when I somehow found out about Kingdom Hearts, being a crossover between the two, I had to have it. I ended up being able to show the game to my parents at Epcot since they had a booth for Kingdom Hearts and Interventions. RIP Interventions. My parents were convinced, so I went to rent it on our next trip to Hollywood Video. Many of you probably don't even know what that is. Then I decided to continue playing it for the next 20 plus years, which brings us to today. For all achievements in this game, we'll be doing 2 different playthroughs. A 100% playthrough on beginner, and finishing the game as fast as possible on proud mode. To hit 100% in this game, we'll be completing Jiminy's journal, which will require us to find every Trinity, find 99 missing Dalmatian puppies, find all Ansem reports, encounter every Heartless and character at least once, play every minigame at least once, obtain every Keyblade, obtain every staff, obtain every shield, and finally synthesize one of every item in the game, along with a handful of other miscellaneous achievements that we'll get along the way. The reason we chose beginner for our first playthrough is because there are 3 main achievements that are massively easier to do on beginner. Unchanging armor, where we can't change equipment for the entire game. This includes Keyblades and Donald and Goofy's equipment. Undefeated, where we can't press continue on the death screen, but we could load game, so saving's important. And Speedster, for finishing the game in under 15 hours. Now, while it's definitely possible to achieve all of these on proud mode, it is not what I would say is easy for the average gamer, which is our goal here on this channel, absolute mediocrity. So without further ado, let's get started. We'll start the 40-hour timer in 3, 2, 1, now. We begin our first playthrough with the most important speedrunning trick of all time. It's called DMCA skip, and we hit it first try. Man, nothing hits better than not getting sued in the first 10 seconds of a game. We start the game taking the staff, which gives us +1 MP and sacrificing the shield because who needs it, I guess, and make our way through the tutorial. When we reach the section where we answer insanely deep questions for a child, we make sure to choose the third option for each character to put us on the Knight EXP route, which essentially makes it easier to level from 50 to 100. This is actually the way to need the least amount of XP to reach level 100, which we need for an achievement later. After we spam our beginner mode gift items and smack the shit out of Darkside, we wake up on Destiny Islands with Riku and Kairi. We run around Destiny Islands collecting things to make a raft and end day 1. On day 2, we have a race with Riku and lose for maybe the first time in my life because I was nervous while I was recording, which actually sucks because then we don't get a pretty stone as a reward to sell later. We then give the remaining items to Kairi and that ends day 2. Overnight, the island gets attacked by a big floating ball of darkness and we go run up to Riku standing over on Love Island and we are then given the Keyblade. And it is with this Keyblade that we will be spending the rest of the game thanks to the Unchanging Armor Trophy, making one of the best elements of this RPG completely unusable. Hooray achievements. We fight Darkseid again IRL this time, and then the big ball of darkness swallows us and brings us to Traverse Town. We meet Sid and go fight some Heartless before fighting Leon, Squall for the real ones out there, and then meeting Yuffie. I opened 2 chests here despite actively trying to avoid collectibles until later. There will be a few other times that this happens which I will point out. We were aiming for 100 chests total for an achievement, but there are many, many more than that in the game. Leon tells us to ignore the small fry as he runs away to probably find the leader and help us defeat it, surely. We head into the 3rd district to fight said leader, alongside Dolan and Gooby, the lovable Disney characters. After defeating him, we confront Leon on his cowardice, gain some stuff, learn about Trinities, another type of collectible, and exit the world. Once we're on the world map, we head into the gummy customization menu and delete our ship to make it just a cockpit, engine, and a weapon, because speedrunners do that, so surely it's for a purpose, right? With that, we pop our first achievement, Customizer. Only 54 to go. You may notice that my Steam achievements look like PlayStation trophies. That is thanks to Steam Achievement Notifier, where you can customize your Steam notifications to look however you want. I want them to feel as close to PlayStation as possible because that's the sound that gives me the most dopamine. Leave me alone, I don't have a problem. We then gummy ship our way over to the first world, making sure we pick up any gummy ship blueprints we can along the way, and destroying as many ships as possible to make progress toward these 2 achievements. We land in Wonderland, where we chase some rabbit booty and shove a bed before talking to a door and taking a shot of that sweet, sweet Tennessee whiskey to be shrunk down, where we then go and be told to find evidence of Alice's innocence for I don't know what, and so we do. The game wants you to find a bunch of these small boxes, but you can just find one and then go back and be like, this is it, oh well. Goffy gets arrested, and we do some peaceful protesting against the Queen to find out Alice is now missing. We then head over to light some candles, which spawns Trickmaster, our boss for this world. After he's down, we obtain a Navi G piece, which we don't know what to do with, so we just choose to ignore it as a unit. Go team. Upon leaving Wonderland, we pop our second achievement, and at this rate, we'll be done in no time. We take off again, heading to the next world, which is Deep Jungle. We get jumped by Sabor, but quickly show her what dreams are made of and meet Tarzan the Ape-Man. Tarzan leads Sora to a skippable minigame that not many know is skippable, and then the duo collects slides to impress Tarzan's girlfriend. Sora meets back up with the duck and the dog, and I accidentally grab another treasure chest, whoops, and then the trio takes off to find Tarzan's dad, and then heads to the treehouse to find that Clayton was going to hunt gorillas. We head back to the camp to yell at him and then run around the world and save the good monkeys from the heartless monkeys. We go back in and out of the tent and then go fight Sabor a second time, which is much harder this time, but it's still fine. Then we go back to the tent again and find that Jane has been Jane-napped, and then I try to do a cheeky save warp and I'm met with this weird vine door I've never seen before, so I stay humble and go back the regular way. We find Jane and ignore all the enemies to beat the shit out of this big fruit and then head down to fight Clayton. Clayton literally tries to shoot a child several times and fails, so he summons this giant invisible lizard that I don't remember from the film, and we knock him off of it and then finish him off. We then make our way up the waterfall cavern on the first try for sure, shut up, and then seal the keyhole for this world. Tarzan then gives us a new keyblade to use that you won't see until much later in this video, and then we head off to the next world, popping our 3rd achievement in the process. Our next world is Olympus Coliseum, except it's not actually, because we immediately ignore it, because believe it or not, you don't actually have to do this world for the story, so we'll come back to it later. Going from Olympus to Traverse Town, we pop another trophy for accidentally completing the first gummy mission for this route. That was 100% an accident. I didn't know I was going to do that. We dock back in Traverse Town and head to Leon, who's hanging out in the sewers for some reason, and on the way we are forced to activate a red trinity for story purposes. This is one of the several trinities that are required to progress in the game. I'll make sure to call them out. We talk to Leon and Aerith, who gives us our first summon stone of the game, which we'll use in a bit, and then we head back to Sid, who will install the gummy blocks for us after we deliver a book for him. We head over to the big fire door and expertly solve the puzzle to open it, and head into the old house where we meet Merlin and watch him dance. Then we give him the book, and the fairy godmother turns the summon gem we got into Simba. We head back to Sid, who has finished installing the navigation gummy, and the gang tells us about a bell we should ring 3 times, but we don't care, so we go visit Sid once more before leaving and sell a bunch of stuff, which we could have sold the Pretty Stone if we had won the race at the beginning of the game, to buy a Haste G, to make the gummy missions even faster. We head out and make our way through the portal over to Agrabah. We land here to find Jasmine, who gets attacked by Heartless, so we save her, and then break into some guy's house and free his living rug and follow it into the desert. We save Aladdin by having Simba yell at the enemies, and then head back to the house we broke into, which happens to be Aladdin's, but don't tell him. We find Jafar, and he shoves Jasmine into a pot, which then becomes alive, and then we smack it a bunch until she's set free, but oh no, our princess is in another castle, so we head back off to the desert. The Cave of Wonder comes alive because everything has to be a boss fight, and good god, this fight is infuriating. He just moves around so much, and you have to hit him in his eyes, and it's just the worst. With him being back to being a stagnant cave, we head inside and go underground to break this pillar before heading up and through the treasure room. Jafar refuses to stay too close, I'm so sorry, making this yet another irritating boss fight, and after he's down, he becomes a mega gym bro, and we destroy his creatine and escape the cave on the magic carpet. Aladdin tries to come with us to find Jasmine, who's still missing but can't, so we instead gain Genie as a summon, and Aladdin gives us another Keyblade we can't use, and that marks the end of Agrabah. Q achievement number 5. We're just over an hour in, and I'm feeling really great about this playthrough so far. I would say that this is the end of the early game. We're heading into the mid-game now. Our next world, we get swallowed up by a big whale named Monstro. We meet Geppetto, and then head to save Pinocchio by traveling through Monstro's organs. We run into Rico, and he helps us fight Parasite Cage to save Pinocchio, but he just escapes. We head back down to where Geppetto was, and snag another important chest with a high jump ability, and head up into the throat, where we run into another rare Heartless called the Rare Truffle. The goal with these guys is to bounce them without letting them hit the ground, which I'm terrible at in this area. Into the mouth we go, where we fight Parasite Cage again, and free Pinocchio before getting shot back out of Monstro, popping our 6th achievement. Onwards we go to the next world, which is Halloween Town, but a quick tip is that this route from Agrabah to Halloween Town is a great route to farm gummy ship kills on. Landing in Halloween Town, we earn some sweet new digs and head over to Professor Finkelstein's lab, where we find out he's trying to make a heartless dance for Halloween. We appease the idea against Dolan's wishes and set off to find ingredients to help bring this idea to life. We start by finding Sally, who gives us a forget-me-not, which I'm assuming is intended to be memory, but it's been ages since I've watched these cutscenes. After bringing that back to the Mad Doctor, we go find the mayor, who helps us blow up a pumpkin by playing a memory game, and that leads us to yet another required chest for story purposes, so that sets us at 5 chests so far out of 100. And then our experiment is stolen by Lock, Shock, and Barrel Roll, so we chase after them. Now you can just open this door and cast a spell to go up the manor, but real ones know to jump here and... As I was saying, you just jump over here and fuck. So we just open the door and cast a spell, which is the definitive way to go up Oogie's manor, and then we interrogate the children who tell us where to find Mr. Boogie. This is a gimmick boss with annoying immune phases, but he goes down after way too many phases. Oogie wasn't done with just one gimmick, so now he becomes the manor itself with big purple blobs all over it that we have to destroy to finish this dude off.
Hey, yo, what the?
It's a good thing platforming hasn't been a single issue for me, because this entire fight is exactly that. Honestly, I don't feel like I did too bad here. I'm pretty happy with it. Once he's down, Jack gives us yet another Keyblade, and we make our exit as Halloween Town is saved and another achievement is ours. We then head towards the next world, where we get intercepted by a big ship, which you guessed it, happens to be our next world, Neverland. Neverland is actually a really quick world when you know where you're going, so we make our way over to yet another necessary trinity and fight Anti-Sora. This is the first fight where I could really feel all the fights I had skipped so far. It felt like I was doing like no damage at all. After fighting Anti-Sora, we do a quick lap around the ship to go outside, where we are ambushed by more Heartless. I try to have Simba yell at them again, but they're less bothered by it, so we finish them up before fighting Captain Hook. It's also important to note that I have the ability to fully fly now, but only while I'm in this world. After vandalizing Big Ben, we lock the keyhole here, grab the glide ability, and then return quickly to grab an orichalcum from the clock tower. The way that this works is based on in-game time, which is shown at the bottom left of the pause screen. Since we are still just under the 2-hour mark, an orichalcum spawns here, and there will be a different item every hour up to 12 hours. These items help to reduce grind, but they are by no means required, so if you didn't get here as fast, don't stress. Popping our achievement for beating Neverland and heading back to Traverse Town, we can now go see what they meant about the bell from earlier since we're overpowered, and we use another required trinity to spawn the keyhole for this world. We get jumped by Guard Armor again, who turns into Opposite Armor, but we make quick work of him and move on. Sid now installs a gummy for us to take to Hollow Bastion, which is where the fun begins. Hollow Bastion is one of my favorite worlds in the series, as it's truly original and the music just slaps. Upon arrival, we run into Riku, who steals our Keyblade and our friends, and leaves us with a wooden sword, then goes and hides behind a locked door, like, bro, you just stole my weapon, don't be a bitch. Beast joins us, and we head over to solve a quick puzzle to unlock the gate and head back to say what's up to the homies. Nolan and Gooby decide that they don't want to let Riku murder us, so the Keyblade says that's dope and comes back to us. Riku gets possessed by the big baddie of the game, Ansem, and Ansem makes him wear a skirt now and makes him really irritating to fight. After the fight, Riku takes off and we're left to read books in a library where yet another required trinity is. Up on the balcony above, we do a series of tasks to gather 4 emblems for the exit door and proceed climbing up Hollow Bastion. After reaching the top, we beat up on Maleficent and she gets pissed and turns into a dragon, which is literally so cool. We summon Tinkerbell to heal us throughout this fight and just brute force this boss that I struggled with so much as a kid. After she's done, we head over to finish the world and... Actually, no. We won't finish the world because once we do, all the other worlds' battle levels increase a ton. So instead, we're going to go finish the worlds that we had skipped before while we're drastically overpowered for them. Remember that we have 15 hours to reach the end. We're only about 2.5 hours deep right now. Although we won't use all the 15 hours because I would like to equip other Keyblades. Our first stop is another world we skipped earlier called Atlantica, which can be one of the most frustrating worlds if you don't know where to go. We first learn to swim and then head over to meet King Triton. He gets mad because we're outsiders, so Ariel takes us to her secret grotto. And then we head off to a sunken ship to find more human stuff for her and find this crystal trident and a shark. We spray the shark with shark repellent and head back to put the crystal trident into the perfectly shaped slot in Ariel's grotto. Triton destroys it, so Ariel goes off to be consoled by the sea witch Ursula, and we go after her. We spam her cauldron with magic, then watch her get the zoomies before doing it again, and then she runs away. We chase after her with an ability they really should have given you by default, and then find her, and she's grown into mommy, so we smack her head a bunch until she's down. Triton then decides we're not so bad, so he comes and tells us to seal the keyhole, and Sora's like, bro, that's literally why we were here to begin with. Ariel gives us another Keyblade for our Keyblade museum you'll never see, and we head out with another achievement pop. We then head back to Olympus Coliseum, which we skipped earlier. We break some barrels and get an entry pass from Hades so that Danny DeVito will let us into the games. We spam Thunder through those before fighting Cloud, who for some reason has wrapped his sword up with bandages. After beating Cloud, the arena gets attacked by Cerberus, so we old Yeller his ass and exit the world, only to go right back in. This world is our Horde mode of the game. There are 3 tournaments we can make our way through right now before finishing that first visit to Hollow Bastion, so that's exactly what we do. The Phil Cup, the Pegasus Cup along with its solo run and time trial run for important synth items, and then the Hercules Cup. This earns us 5 total achievements for completing them. After leaving here, I realize I still have time to burn before hitting 4 hours for an item I want from the Clock Tower, so I head over to Deep Jungle to do the Jungle Slider minigame. Now with this minigame, we only need the first 3 rewards technically, but getting all of them gives us another power-up which will make the final boss significantly easier. After finishing that, I research online to see at what point the Clock Tower becomes unavailable to get those items we talked about earlier. A secret boss is there, and until we beat him we can't get those items. The internet said sealing the keyhole to Hollow Bastion is what makes this a thing, so I decided to go finish that first visit because you don't seal the keyhole on the first visit. Back in Hollow Bastion, we approach Riku a second time. The cutscenes would tell you that Kairi is a princess of heart, and that's why they've been kidnapping all the princesses, and that he is going to stab her to unlock her heart, but that part of her heart is also inside Sora. It's been a long time since I've paid attention to the stories of these games, so I'm probably wrong, and if I'm wrong, please tell me in the comments. Your hatred fuels my metrics. Sora thwacks Riku only to stab himself, turning himself into a Heartless. We chase down our crew in Heartless form and get saved by Kairi, so I guess we're square now. The gang escapes back to Traverse Town, and Sora tells Sid he needs to go back to Hollow Bastion to seal the keyhole. The gummy we need to do so is back in the sewer, so we head there and snag it, and then Kairi gives us another Keyblade we can't use, but it pops an achievement, thanks girl, and then we head out to go back to Hollow Bastion. Now at this point, I still had some time before hitting that 4-hour mark, and even then I have until the 5-hour mark to finish getting back to the Clock Tower, so I decide I'm going to hit all the Trinities and many of the chests on our way back up the castle at Hollow Bastion. Did you know you can freeze the bubbles? After making it back to the castle chapel, I head back out from that save point and go back to the... Wait, what the fuck? The internet lied to me. This is actually my fault, because I knew about the changes that happened after beating Riku 2 and still believed what I read.
Oh, don't cry, are you...
So we press on and seal the keyhole in Hollow Bastion, popping another achievement. This unlocks the final world, which is called End of the World. We pop another achievement upon landing for clearing all gummy routes. I decided that the level of difficulty I was feeling at this point from having no equipment felt good, so I decided to get all the chests I could find here. The only important one early on is this one, which has a staff for Donald. Then I went into the world terminus and decided to stop at every world and fight stuff because honestly I was just having a lot of fun at this point and I didn't know if I'd ever done this before. Typically, you can skip all the worlds where you've sealed the keyhole, so Olympus was the only one we had to do here, and also Neverland because of the chest with the shield for Goofy. We stop in this world you haven't seen yet to save, and then go on to fight Chernabog. This is one of my favorite fights in the series just because I love the music. It's so good. Chernabog is so baller, I love him. After he's down, we finally get Super Glide, our last movement ability in the game. We make our way into a big room and get stomped by another behemoth. After he's done, this door starts peeling apart and then buckle up because this fight lasts forever. After fighting wave after wave after wave after wave of Heartless, the door to Final Rest is finally unveiled, so we head inside. This is officially our point of no return, and we got here in just over 5 hours. This game has roughly 4 hours of cutscenes in it, so even if you had watched all of them, you would have had a huge cushion. I also want to point out that at this point, if you struggle with these final fights, that's okay. Head back out and grind a bit, no judgment, just bear in mind your in-game timer. You want to give yourself probably close to an hour to finish up the final boss fights. We head inside the point of no return and get into our first fight with Ansem. I love these final fights because it's so clear that Square told Disney that they have no jurisdiction here. This is just pure Final Fantasy anime nonsense and I love it. After fighting through Ansem 1, Dark Side again for some reason, Ansem 2, and Ansem 3,
Daddy, chill.
and this weird squiggly thing that shoots crap at us, we begin to find our friends again. Goofy joins back first and we take on the head of Ansem's ship, and I really wish we could get Goofy's reaction to this somehow. I mean, Jesus Christ, look at this thing. We go and snag Donald, then kill this blob thing, which must be important, and then fight Ansem one more time as a group. With him down, we pop our Speedster trophy so it doesn't hold the unskippable ending against you, and then watch through the ending and credits. After the credits, we pop our Novice Player, Unchanging Armor, and Undefeated trophies. Then since there is no clear data save in this game, we just load our game back before the final boss. Our next goal is to head through each world and get all collectibles and such to work on checking things off in Jiminy's journal. Keeping in mind we don't need every chest, but I don't know what's in all of them, so I open as many as I can find. In addition to that, we'll be farming out synth items from Special Heartless, of which there is one of each in each world. Other than Atlantica. Thank God. We start in End of the World, where we already are, with the Neo Shadow enemies, which we just spam Strike Raid or Ars Arcanum. They drop Stormy Stones, of which we need 4. Heading over to Neverland, intentionally skipped Hollow Bastion until we get a certain Keyblade later, we fight this big stupid balloon guy that steals all my money, who drops Dazzling Stones, of which we need 6. We also wrap up Trinities and chests here before heading out. In Atlantica, we need to go into the sunken ship and get the white mushrooms to spawn, as this is the only area that I know of in the game where you can get stop arts. We need one of each of the arts items, which is done by playing charades with these guys with each of the different spells in the game. We need to cast the same spell on the same mushroom 3 times to get an arts item. Here we snag Stop Arts and Thunder Arts and get a couple other items here and head out toward Ariel's Grotto. In the grotto there are a few chests, but the only important one is the one with a torn page. Remember that book we brought Merlin earlier? We need 5 torn pages to complete that world, so we will snag 4 of them before heading back to Traverse Town where we will get the last one. Heading towards Triton's Palace, we stop at the White Trinity here and leave this world and head over to Monstro. Monstro is home to another summon gem for Dumbo, yes Dumbo,
Even Dumbo!
several Trinities, and a special Heartless called Grand Ghost. The gimmick with this guy is that he takes damage from healing items, so we just throw a Mega Elixir on him and it one-shots him and drops the Frost Stones we need 7 of. We explore the rest of Monstro, grabbing more puppies and Trinities before heading over to Agrabah. P.S. I missed a chest with Dalmatians in it in Chamber 6. I have no idea how. I'll notice later and come back for it, but you can be better. Agrabah is home to the Pot Scorpion special Heartless, which has annoying immune phases, but essentially just guard him when he lunges at you and then attack. You can also smack the pots in the room that move for a chance at an extra Mithril Stone, of which we need 8, which sucks. The rest of Agrabah is pretty basic, just flying around collecting chests and Trinities, and here's where we also pop the achievement for 100 chests. We also stop in the treasure room for a white mushroom that can give us the Gravity Arts item. There's also another torn page in a chest underground in the Cave of Wonders. Back to Halloween Town, our first stop is the lab from earlier because in this bookcase is our 4th torn page. Afterwards, we head back over to Oogie's Manor, but on our way we pop the achievement for having 10,000 money. The manor is gone now, so we jump down and defeat some white knights to spawn this area's special Heartless, the Chimera. When we lower his initial health bar, he spawns in these orbs that were intended to bounce back at him, which is really difficult for me for some reason, so most of the time I put on arrow and just smack him and it seems to work just fine. This guy drops blazing stones that we need 7 of. The worst part of this grind is the fact that you have to go 2 rooms away to respawn him, which is a pain here in particular. I should also mention this glaring red Trinity that I don't grab while I'm here. I thought this Trinity was bugged, but turns out you just have to hit it after you defeat the Chimera. I'll come back for it later. After wrapping up the blazing stones, I head back over to the graveyard looking for white mushrooms again. These ones specifically are good for arrow arts, so we snag that and head out. Starting in Wonderland, we snag a couple Trinities before farming the Giga Shadow special Heartless by spamming Strike Raid. These drop Fury Stones, of which we need 5. After cleaning up the rest of the world, we head back over to Deep Jungle to farm this stupid Bell enemy that I'm usually terrible at, but I think I did alright this time. We need 5 Lightning Stones from him. A trick you can do that I didn't bother with this time is to record him with your phone while he jumps around, then pause and rewatch it on your phone scrubbing through slowly. That has helped me in the past, but he still sucks. Now I head up to the treehouse collecting Trinities and chests along the way and try to spawn a special Heartless called the Pink Agaricus, probably butchered that. I couldn't find the 3rd white mushroom here though to save my life, so I just give up and decide to come back later when we have a summon that will help with it. Next, I head over to Olympus Coliseum and hit all the Trinities in the courtyard, as well as cast Blizzard at all these torches to spawn a chest. Now, to break up the collectible grind a bit, we're going to go through the Hades Cup for the first time. This is a 50-round cup with a boss fight every 10 seeds, aside from a couple more random ones like Yuffie at 44th. I'm doing this now because I have to do it 3 times total and I don't want to do it back to back to back. During our run through of this, we snagged the achievement for killing 2,000 Heartless. After we're done with Hades Cup, I leave the world and decide to finish up collectible farming with Traverse Town. Before I do that, I realize now that I forgot that chest back in Monstro with Dalmatian, so I head back to get that. Back in Traverse Town, we clear out the Trinities and chests and find all 10 postcards, which I thought was an achievement, but it's not. Woohoo! We also fight the special Heartless here by spamming Blizzards at it. If it sees you, it will relentlessly attack you until you leave the room. These drop Power Stones, of which we need 5. I visit Merlin, and since I have all the spell arts items, he gives me a Keyblade. I also give my summon stones to the Fairy Godmother and get the Dumbo and Mushu summons. After getting all the chests for Dalmatians, we pop the Top Dog achievement and go to deliver them, but on the way something super important happens. We get a Wizard's Relic drop from the Wizard enemy. This is a super rare staff for Donald that counts toward the All Staffs achievement, so super glad to get that RNG out of the way. I should also note that I stopped by Geppetto's new house, who gives us gummy blueprints depending on how many Heartless we've beaten. Since I know I have over 2,000, he gives me 3 for now, but we'll be back later. I also snag a Keyblade out of a chest here. Then, after getting all the Trinities done here, I realize that the achievement didn't pop, so I missed some somewhere. I know the yellow one I'm missing is in Olympus, so I start backtracking to find the red one I'm missing, and lo and behold, it's that one that I thought was bugged in Halloween Town. I had just checked Agrabah and decided to normal drive over to Halloween Town to farm enemy kills and pop the achievement for shooting down 2,500 enemy ships. Big W. After cleaning up that Trinity in Halloween Town, I head back to Olympus to do the yellow Trinity there, which pops the achievement for all Trinities, and leaving the world pops the achievement for sealing the keyhole there. Since I just got that other gummy achievement, I decide to go for mission 2 and 3 for Traverse Town, unlocking another blueprint and 2 more achievements. Back to Traverse Town, we finally head into 100 Acre Wood, our last world that I was putting off forever, and we clear all the 5 torn pages to seal the keyhole for the world and get the Bambi summon as well, which is super important for wrapping up synth farming. During 100 Acre Wood, we pop the Minigame Maniac achievement for participating in all the minigames this game has to offer. We also pop the achievement for clearing 100 Acre Wood and the Storyteller achievement since we've cleared all worlds now. Now at this point I knew of one more Heartless that gives me a specific item I need, but it's easier to obtain when you have the Keyblade for defeating the Ice Titan, so we head back to Olympus to fight him. The gimmick with this fight is to deflect the icy shards back at him with guard. It's pretty easy and takes a while, but he goes down and we pop an achievement for beating him. We then head back over to Deep Jungle to get the item I was trying to get earlier, where you cast Stop on these 3 mushrooms and then a big pink one spawns and you cast Stop on him, and then for every hit you get on him while he's stopped you get a point. It sounds complex, but just cast Aroga on yourself and then cast Stop, then Ragnarok him, air combo, Ragnarok, air combo until you run out of time. He'll drop the item Serenity Power, which is the last special item that we need 7 of. We still have a bunch of synth farming to do, but now that we have Bambi, it can be made a lot easier. Before we do that farming, I get impatient and decide to try to go synth 15 items to get the Encounter Plus ability so that enemies respawn by just exiting and entering a room rather than having to go 2 rooms away. I'm only able to synth 14 items because the universe hates me, but I popped 2 achievements in the process. Now we're going to head back to farm specific synth items using Bambi. Essentially, Bambi works as so. You summon her, then fill the meter by killing things, and she shits out items that you would otherwise have to defeat specific enemies for. This allows you to farm for multiple different items at once. Starting in Neverland, for example, if I go down to the basement, I can summon Bambi, and then while I'm killing Heartless that drop Lucid Shards, Lucid Crystals, and Power Gems, Bambi is shitting out Spirit Shards and Spirit Gems. It's beautiful. Also, while we're here, we're going to go ahead and fight the Phantom at the Clock Tower so we can grab our last spell upgrade. This boss is such a slog. The gimmick here is that you can only attack him with one of 3 spells, Fire, Blizzard, and Thunder, or with a physical attack if he glows white. Add in the fact that he casts Doom on you and you have to cast Stop on the Clock Tower or you die, and honestly this fight is just the worst. After a million years he goes down and we finally get our Stoppera upgraded to Stopka and we pop an achievement. While we have the momentum, I want to go ahead and head over to Agrabah to fight another super boss, Kurt Ziza. The deal with this guy is that he has 2 phases, one where he can only be damaged by physical attacks and you can't use magic, and one where he can only be damaged by magic and not physical. Once you knock him out of each phase, you can damage his actual health bar. After he goes down, we pop an achievement, and then we go farm synth items in a few different worlds. At this point I have no idea what I really need because I synthed that random stuff earlier, so now all my counts are off. I go ahead and synth some more stuff and pop the achievement for making 15 items, then continue to farm for a while. While farming, I get the rare Defender shield drop, and then I pop the achievement for synthing 30 items before realizing that I need to synth 1 more dark matter than I had thought. Seeing my in-game timer is close to the 16-hour mark, I remember why I wanted to go to the clock tower at 4 hours much earlier in the run. So, I had to burn some time by doing Sora's solo Hades Cup, popping the achievement for getting all of Donald's staves, and then make my way over to the clock tower to obtain the dark mat. Once again, my memory has failed me in my old age. So instead, I go to farm what I need to synth 2 more mithrils and then the dark matters. This allows me to synth the ultimate weapon, popping the achievement for synthing every available item in the game. This leaves us with just the Hades Cup time trial, which we just spam Thunder through with our beautiful final Keyblade. The Platinum match against one of Final Fantasy's most infamous antagonists, Sephiroth, voiced by the gruesome, fearsome Lance Bass. Then we head back and finish farming to level 100 before heading over to Hollow Bastion for the final secret boss. The unknown figure is usually a very tough boss fight, but we have way over-prepped, but I'll also give you some pro tips. Number 1, use gravity on him as it stuns him and is the only magic that works on him. Number 2, use summons like Bambi and Simba as he is unable to cast his Doom spell which can easily destroy you. And number 3, if that doesn't work, just spam attack and heal when needed and honestly you'll probably be fine. Defeating him gives us some cool foreshadowing for future titles and also pops a slew of achievements. It's after this that I realized that I forgot to talk to Geppetto again after hitting level 100, as we have now killed enough Heartless to get the rest of the available blueprints from him. He gives us 3 more, which happens to be exactly enough for us to pop the final achievement of this playthrough for getting 30 gummy blueprints. We now have 53 out of our 55 achievements needed for Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, and we have over 25 hours left on our timer. Bear in mind that this series has a cumulative timer as well that could become problematic later. This is by far my most familiar game in the series, and I still have made loads of mistakes, so it's likely all downhill from here. This is the first time in a long time that I've played Proud Mode casually, as usually I'm trying to do all the previous achievements in this playthrough, so I'm honestly super excited for this. I have plenty of time left on my timer, so I really can take my time and enjoy this playthrough. The only big changes I make in this playthrough is that I choose the shield and dump the staff, as well as answer the questions with the first answer, which makes leveling 1 to 50 faster since we won't be needing more than that. I have to point out that I get my revenge on Riku in the race as well. Being able to change equipment really makes Proud Mode way more enjoyable, and I haven't done a run being able to do that in such a long time. I cruise through the game as casually as I've ever played it, and I remain deathless until... As I was saying, it really isn't that bad, but you do die pretty... No, but seriously, once you get certain abilities and items, it becomes pretty much a breeze. Once I reach End of the World, I'm able to abuse Mushu a bit, using the EXP0 ability. Despite gaining no XP with this ability on, it actually improves your stats a bit in the background as well, as it's intended for level 1 runs of the game. It also has a hidden perk called Damage Storage, where if you hit a finisher in a combo, then spam magic, every hit from that magic will do the damage of a finisher rather than a regular attack. This is amazing for the Mushu summon in particular, as you just spam his fire breath and it will melt bosses. Even if it doesn't fully finish bosses, it will get you most of the way there. This is especially helpful in Ansem 1 and Ansem 4. After we defeat Ansem once again and he says the thing, we watch the credits and pop the final 2 achievements for this playthrough. We had 20 hours and 22 minutes remaining, but I'm going to deduct time for 2 playthroughs if we would have watched the cutscenes. There are about 4.5 hours of cutscenes, so I'll reduce the timer by 9 hours. That brings our total time remaining for this game to 11 hours and 22 minutes. So this game took us 28 hours and 38 minutes to complete. That brings our total time remaining for the series to 441 hours and 22 minutes. We earned 55 achievements in this game, which leaves us with 262 across the remaining 6 titles. Overall, this was a blast to play. I love being able to play the game in 2 playthroughs for the Plat rather than brute forcing 1 playthrough. As I've mentioned before, this is the game in the series I'm most familiar with, so from this point on, the time will get a bit tighter. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and hit that subscribe button. Also leave a comment and tell me what you did or did not like about the format of this video, seeing as it's my first one back. Even your complaints will feed the algorithm. The next game in the series is Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories. The gameplay in Kingdom Hearts is amazing, so it's great that they'll never change the core mechanics of the game to something horrible. The wheel picked Elder Scrolls as the series will play alongside Kingdom Hearts, so we'll start that next week. Bye bye.